Welcome to Fox 54 News at 6. I'm Kenesha Dees. Today marks 2 years since Hamas carried out a surprise attack in southern Israel. The October 7th, 2023 attack killed more than 1,200 people, with Hamas abducting 240 others. As a response to the attack, Israel launched military operations on the Gaza Strip, leaving tens of thousands dead and destroying entire cities. Civilians in Gaza have attempted to flee over the last 24 months. Others have remained facing dangerous conditions. According to Gaza's health ministry, it's reported that the Palestinian death toll has reached more than 67,000 as of yesterday. Several Alabama leaders shared their thoughts today on the impact of the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas. U.S. Senator Katie Britt released a statement saying, quote, October 7th is a day that will live in infamy as one of the worst attacks on the Jewish people in modern history, end quote. U.S. Representative Dale Strong sent his gratitude and support to President Trump in a post on X, reestablishing the country's support of Israel. Quote, may we never forget the horrors of October 7th. The U.S. stands firmly with Israel against those who seek its destruction. I'm grateful for POTUS's efforts to bring the hostages home and advance lasting peace, end quote. A local Jewish synagogue is hosting a commemoration right now for the anniversary of the conflict in Israel. The event being held at Temple B'nai Shalom and is an evening to honor the memory of those affected by the events of October 7th and celebrate the resilience of the human spirit. A local Palestinian organization hosting a week of action to commemorate the 2-year anniversary of the conflict. The Young Palestinians of Huntsville are hosting an event called Let's Talk About Palestine, and that's tomorrow. The event will have lessons on the history of Palestine, and the organization will hold a Q&A panel afterward. This event will be held at the Madison Masjid Prayer Hall and starts at 6 p.m. And we're going to take you to Decatur. Here's a look above, I guess around the time before all that rain started coming in. You could see the cloud cover collecting there, little peaks of blue at the top. But nonetheless, we did see a lot of that rain. I'm joined now by Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Jordan, is the rainfall done with us yet this evening?
For the vast majority of us, yes, we are going to be dry through the rest of the evening, but other folks could continue to talk about the opportunity for a little bit of rain, not just in the immediate future, but even as we head into the overnight as well. And yeah, we did get to enjoy a couple of peaks of blue sky through the course of the afternoon, and that allowed temperatures to climb into the low and mid 80s. The vast majority of us are dry across northwest Alabama, Lauderdale, Colbert, Franklin County, Lawrence County, most of Limestone County dry. We're talking about a little bit of rain across far eastern Madison County, a little bit of rain across Jackson County, Bridgeport, down into Stevenson, Scottsboro. We're talking about some pockets of moderate to at times heavy rainfall. This activity going to move into Henniger sooner rather than later. Eventually, this activity is going to move into Fort Payne, beginning to move through Gunnersville. Eventually, this activity is going to move into Albertville. All of this activity is associated with a cold front. Now, that cold front's still back off to the west. It's going to move through our neck of the woods as we head into the overnight and then early into your Wednesday morning. Now, on the backside of this cold front is a much different air mass, an air mass that I think you're going to like. We'll talk about it in a few minutes.
Well, check this out. The Huntsville Police Department released video footage of a recent car break-in that led them to identifying 3 children responsible for it. Here's that video. According to officials, it was submitted by the victims. HPD says there has been an increase in car break-ins and thefts across the city. The department says they released the video to encourage the public to take precaution. The names of those involved has not been released due to them being minors. The Madison County Sheriff's Department says 1 person was injured in a shooting Monday afternoon. Authorities confirmed the incident happened on Jim McLemore Road and that the incident was isolated with no threat to the public. The victim was taken to a local hospital for treatment, their condition unknown. A former Huntsville pastor is now facing federal wire and tax fraud charges. Court documents show Adrian Davis, the former pastor of All Nations Worship Assembly, is accused of stealing more than $400,000 from the church between 2018 and 2020. He also owes the IRS more than $100,000, court documents revealed. But Davis has signed a plea agreement and could still face up to 20 years in prison. The U.S. Space and Rocket Center inviting everyone to come out and learn about space exploration during World Space Week. It's the world's largest international celebration of space and its discovery, and it's going on through Friday. The Space and Rocket Center bringing out new exhibits, games, and interactive activities. Museum Education Director Joseph Vick tells us it's all to celebrate a continuing space program. Take a listen.
We tell that story every day. So we want all those that come through these doors to be an astronaut for the day, opening their eyes to what happened in the past and how we're still happening now with space exploration. We want them to be immersed in space history and space progressive future. So it tells that story of I'm putting myself in that storyline.
Pretty cool. Well, again, the exhibit runs through Friday, open every day from 9 to 5. Families can expect an interactive experience that organizers say is perfect for kids and adults alike. Now, Caleb, I don't even know where to start with this because, I mean, World Space Week, it seems like there's so many things you could do. I know there's interactive activities. You got to see it yourself, right?
Yeah, it looked like a lot of games, a lot of museum collection pieces that they brought out. They were handling it with some gloves and everything, so
Oh,
it
wow.
was pretty cool. They kind of went all out with it. But I'm not sure what they're doing around the world with World Space Week, it being an international holiday.
True.
I'm sure there's stuff going on at all types of museums, things like that around the world right now.
Did you get a chance to try your hand at anything while you were there?
Not particularly myself. I didn't quite have the time today, but I did, get to see a lot of it. That was enough for me.
Did you see anything in particular that was most interesting to you there?
I can't really say.
Because there was so much going on.
Yeah, there was quite a bit going on. I mean, I was kind of, as a reporter does, you kind of
Yeah.
go and shoot some footage, get an interview. I'd have to say some of the exhibits were pretty cool because I
Yeah.
did get to see those. They were standing around and it wasn't necessarily something to watch.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and I mean, it's an opportunity for people to see for themselves when
yeah.
they get there. Thank you so much, Caleb,
Yes,
as
thank you.
always. Well, the community is in mourning for the loss of 16-year-old Alice Hoabu, who died Monday after a 4-year battle with melanoma. Alice Hoabu's mother announced she passed away yesterday in a heartfelt post on social media. Fox 54 originally showed you Alice when she served as Grand Marshal of the Austin High School Homecoming Parade just a few weeks ago. Her family remembers her as bright, determined, and beautiful. Alice's memorial service will be held on October 16th at 2 p.m. at St. John's Episcopal Church. The service will also be streamed online. Alice will definitely be missed. Yesterday, Attorney General candidate Catherine Robertson announced that Limestone County Sheriff Joshua McLaughlin is endorsing her campaign. In a statement, McLaughlin says, quote, Catherine has proven time and again that she is unafraid to lead on the issues that matter most to the law enforcement community. She is well prepared to take the reins, and I'm proud to endorse her as our next AG. The election for Attorney General will take place in November on next year. Tony Volunteer Fire and Rescue has purchased more than 3 acres of land on the north side of Tony Road to build a new fire station. The property was acquired by Logan Farms and will become the site of Station 1 with long-term plans to include a community storm shelter. The new station is expected to improve response times and emergency services for Tony and surrounding areas. TVFR officials say more details about the project will be shared as plans progress. Last week, we told you Rock the South is moving a little further north to Decatur. Today, the festival will release the official lineup for next year, along with a few new additions. The festival will feature a second stage called the Raise Rowdy Stage. Officials say next year's lineup has something for everyone, from country stars like Jason Aldean to rappers like Big X the Plug.
Original talent like Jason Aldean and stuff to some of those anchor people, but you're also going to find Zach Top, you're going to find Riley Green, you're going to find Jesse Murch, you're going to find Big X the Plug, you're going to find things that are going to transcend generations. And so whether you're a 50-year-old female or you're a 25-year-old, there's something for everybody.
Rock the South started 15 years ago as a relief fundraiser in Coleman after a tornado swept through Coleman County. The now annual concert series will take place June 11th through the 13th next year at the Fields at Decatur. For the full festival lineup, go to fox54.com. Country music star Hardy will be performing at the Orion Amphitheater for The Country Tour, and that's on May 22nd of next year. The Apollo South entrance opens at 5 p.m., doors open at 5:30, and the show starts at 7. Online tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. For information on how to purchase tickets, go to fox54.com.
as the years go by and being able to be self-sufficient by the end of the year. I just love seeing that growth. All right, ready, set.
This top teacher likes to see the progress from the Sprouts in his class. We see how this helps foster their growth. Stay with us. One North Alabama organization aimed at making leisure and nature more accessible to everyone. We've got the details on how. Stay with us.
Now, Fox 54's Top Teacher, sponsored by Calhoun Community College.
This week's Fox 54 Top Teacher is in the River City, Decatur. We get to meet Jacob Tinsley from Chestnut Grove Elementary School. Tinsley loves teaching the littles. We're talking about the first graders. I was in awe when I stepped into his classroom, catching them get some hands-on learning. But before we even get to that, here was the moment Mr. Tinsley was surprised as a Fox 54 Top Teacher.
Mr. Tinsley, you are Fox 54's Top Teacher of the Week. Oh, wow. Let's give Mr. Tinsley a round of applause. Come on, Mr. Tinsley. Congratulations.
Thank you.
An honor well-deserved. Tinsley says he's been teaching first graders at Chestnut Grove Elementary School for 3 years and wanted to dive into teaching after he spent 1 year during summer camp in Boaz. That's where he's originally from. It was during that time he was given the opportunity to teach different subjects and learned that first grade was his favorite. Tinsley says hands-on activities like the ones they're playing today is what helps the lesson to stick.
They need to learn sound words so they can be able to read fluently. So I wanted to find a fun way to do that and also kind of get in some motor skills as well. So I just picked up my recycling bin and put it down, and we just started doing 2 at a time, racing to see who could, get this outward first.
You see Mr. Tinsley, he's over 6 feet tall, so then you see him with the younger children, the first graders, and it's just a joy to watch. He's kind, he's caring, he's so invested in their learning, and the children just soar in his classrooms.
Well-deserved congratulations, Mr. Tinsley. We have his full interview on Fox 54 Plus. Download on your TV, watch for free. Also, do nominate a deserving teacher on fox54.com. It is Alabama College Application Week, giving high school seniors across the state a chance to apply to colleges, and it's for free. The program helps remove financial barriers to higher education and encourages students to take the next step toward their academic goals. Almost 30,000 students participated last year. All colleges and universities across Alabama and neighboring states are included. One North Alabama group has launched accommodations to make traveling more accessible for everyone. We've got a look at how. Jordan, what's going on with weather?
Yeah, we're still talking about some scattered showers, maybe even a couple of rumbles of thunder this evening hanging out across northeast Alabama. This activity is all associated with a cold front. It's going to bring a nice change of pace into the Tennessee Valley over the next couple of days. We'll discuss it in just a few minutes.
The North Alabama Mountain Lakes Tourist Association made a special announcement this morning. The organization announced North Alabama is now an accessible, friendly destination. This means more accommodations for travelers with disabilities are available. Wheel the World also recognized North Alabama as the first destination to be, quote, destination verified for accessibility. The event hosted a variety of speakers, including Ashley Crosby, a mother whose youngest daughter has a disability. She says the inclusivity of the accessibility gives her peace of mind.
To know that there's no one-size-fits-all cookie cutter to accessibility, and taking the time and the resources to where when we do go somewhere, we know we're dealing with a place that is prepared for us and whatever that looks like.
NAMLA also announced the launch of its new travel website. The site will include resources like Bandwagon, a platform offering accessible passes to local attractions, accommodations, and restaurants. A link to Wheel the World's destination verified hotels and attractions and activities also featured on the website. To learn more, go to FOX54.com.
Now, the Tennessee Valley's certified most accurate forecast from the Fox 54 Weather Impact Team.
And here's a look from Rainbow Mountain. Ooh, look at that glow to the right side of our screen. I would imagine that is the beautiful sunset that we're experiencing. We gotta capture that while we can because the days are getting darker, but nonetheless, look at those clouds.
Yeah, the clouds are really cool, and it's kind of nice to see that some of the folks across the area are going to get to enjoy the sun setting, which, by the way, sunsets at 6:21. So at this point, we're a couple of weeks away from no longer talking about the sunset during this newscast, but then we'll talk about it during the 5:30 newscast.
I know, yeah, where it's that time. Normally, the marker for me is around Halloween. That's then when we give ourselves an extra hour of sleep and fall back and all that good stuff.
And then we don't talk about the sunset at all because the sun will set at 4:30.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Don't remind me.
I never really look forward to it either. I don't like the 4:30 sunsets. I can deal with the 5:30, the 6. Yeah, that's all well and good, but when the sun starts to set at 4:30 p.m., that's kind of where I draw the line as far as enjoyment is concerned. Live look out over the parkway. This is a neat view. We're looking northbound on Memorial Parkway. Kind of some cool clouds off into the distance if you're looking to the north. And then beyond those clouds, it actually looks like maybe we're talking about some clearing there back off on the horizon. And gradually, we are going to begin to see a little bit of clearing over the next couple of hours, but at the same time, we're also going to continue talking about a little bit of rain. Look at this, northern Madison County. We do have some spotty showers, maybe even a couple of rumbles of thunder. Far northeastern Madison County, northwestern Jackson County. We're also talking about some pockets of heavier precipitation. This activity extends well up into southern Middle Tennessee, and then back heading into DeKalb County, Henniger, back into Fort Payne. Fort Payne going to begin to see rain probably over the next 15 or 20 minutes. Henniger within the next 3 to 5 minutes. Albertville dry for now, but you're going to begin to see a little bit of rain that is currently pushing its way through Gunnersville. So if you're in Albertville and you want to know what's coming your direction, call your friends in Gunnersville and they'll tell you exactly what's going to be happening probably over the next 10 or 15 minutes. We're beginning to dry out right now in Scottsboro. This activity all associated with a cold front. Now that cold front's still back off to the west. It's going to move through the Tennessee Valley as we head into the overnight and then early into your Wednesday morning. By the time we get to Wednesday afternoon, some of us are starting to enjoy a little bit of sunshine. That being said, I'm also going to maintain the opportunity for just a couple of isolated showers through the heart of Wednesday afternoon and then early into Wednesday evening. By the time we get to the middle part of the evening, I do think we are definitely going to be dry. We're also going to begin to lose some of that cloud cover. Now, Futurecast brings some of that cloud cover back into the area as we head into the Thursday morning commute, and then we'll also introduce the opportunity for a couple of quick showers Thursday afternoon. The vast majority of us are going to be dry, but understand that as we go about the day on Thursday, there is just the smallest opportunity for a little bit of rain. From there, we eliminate the opportunities for rain altogether. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're dry, and then even as we head into Monday, Tuesday of next week, we're also going to be dry. Off to the tropics we go. We are now talking about Tropical Storm Gary. Gary has maximum winds right now of 50 miles per hour. Gary is going to pose absolutely no threat to the continental United States. Going to move towards the Lesser Antilles, but then Jerry is going to begin to turn. And as Jerry turns, it strengthens into a Category 2 storm and then eventually turns and heads out into the Atlantic. So here's the continental United States. Jerry is going to turn once again and head out into the Atlantic Ocean. The end of the hurricane season will come late November. Temperatures currently sitting in the 70s across the Tennessee Valley. We drop into the 60s as we head into the overnight. When the kids get on the school bus tomorrow morning, those that are getting on the school bus this week, 69 at 8, 69 by 9, 72 degrees by the time we get to 10 a.m. Have a good look at the next 7 days. 75 on Wednesday, 73 Thursday, a pair of 75s Friday, Saturday. Weather fantastic Friday, Saturday, and then even as we head into Sunday, really going to be a beautiful weekend to get outside and do all of the fall activities Saturday and Sunday. 80 degrees on Monday, 81 degrees by the time we get to next Tuesday, maintaining the lack of rain and the ample sunshine.
We'll check this out, an annual drive to collect blankets in cold weather, something we're not going to experience quite yet, but it's coming. Cold weather gear is underway to support people across North Alabama. Donations of new or gently used adult-size items are accepted from now through February. Organizers are asking for blankets, coats, gloves, socks, and other warm clothing like sweatshirts and scarves. There are several drop-off locations in Huntsville, including Manor House, St. Matthew's Episcopal Church in Madison, and hands across Decatur in Decatur. For a full list of Huntsville drop-off locations, go to FOX54.com. Time has finally come for you to vote on your next pup mayor of Main Street, Madison. There are 15 perfect candidates vying to be the first mayor. It costs $1 to vote for a candidate, and votes are unlimited. All proceeds from the election go towards supporting Main Street Madison. For more information on how to vote, go to FOX54.com. What's new in sports, Mo?
Well, Kanisha, you'll love this. Basketball season is right around the corner. Today, we got a chance to chat it up with the SWAC women's basketball programs, and you'll hear from Alabama A&M next.
Fox 54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
And good evening, everyone. SWAC basketball media days are underway in Birmingham, and the Alabama A&M Lady Bulldogs have taken center stage. Dawn Thornton's squad turned in the best season in program history on the D1 level in 2024-25 while winning 21 games and earning a trip to the women's NIT. One of the players who probably are most excited for this year when it comes to hitting the court would be Karaya Beck. The graduate student transferred with Coach Thornton from Arkansas Pine Bluff to Alabama A&M last year, but she missed the entire season with a torn Achilles. Beck averaged 13 points a night as a Golden Lion senior, and she figured out some things about herself while being out with the injury.
I learned that I get out of routine quick. I feel like me being a basketball player and me being in routine helped me grow better and actually become a better person of myself. So me being out with my Achilles and really showed me like I actually have to be consistent in my routine.
All right, let's take a look at the women's basketball predicted order of finish. Reigning champ Southern is picked to repeat this year, followed by Alabama A&M, who is second. Jackson State, which is led by Margaret Richards, is third. Texas Southern rounds out the top four. 5 through 8 feature Grambling State, Alcorn State, Bethune-Cookman, and Florida A&M. And then 9 through 12, you got Alabama State, Prairie View, Arkansas Pine Bluff, and Mississippi Valley State. Now, coming up tonight at 9, we'll have more from SWAC Basketball Media Day with the women. But if you want to see the additional interviews with Coach Dawn Thornton or any one of the 3 players she brought today, head over to Fox 54 Plus, where you can download for free and watch it on your TV. Kanisha.
Yes, Mo, coming up tonight at 9. Today marks 2 years since the start of conflict between Hamas and Israel. Several local groups and organizations are hosting events to commemorate. We have those details at 9. And then also, we're nearly a week into the government shutdown, and Fox 54 talks with local experts about what it could mean for North Alabama's economy. And finally, the Tennessee National Guard set to deploy in Memphis Friday, joining the SAFE task force to boost visibility and deter crime under President Trump's order. We'll have this and more for you at 9. Before we let you go, this week's Taco Tuesday, a little extra special. It is National Taco Day. Fans of the longtime favorite can enjoy tacos with beef, chicken, fish, topped with tomatoes, cheese, and olives. Olives, never tried that. But you can also have a side of salsa, guacamole, and sour cream. National Taco Day used to be on October 4th, but now it's celebrated on the first Tuesday in October. Restaurants that participate, Taco Bell, Del Taco, and others joining in on the fun. I'm still stuck on the whole olives. I've never tried my taco with olives.
You should not put olives on your taco, nor should you put all of that other stuff on your taco, because Americans have drastically Americanized the taco. It is literally supposed to be a protein, cilantro, maybe the smallest amount of cheese, and that's
I
it.
like
That's your
lettuce